Okay, we're going to do the introduction to the muscular system. Muscular system has 3 functions. You might be able to just, maybe come up with them on your own. What might be the functions of the muscular system? There are 3. So one of them is to allow for movement, bring about contraction. There's 2 types of movement. There's locomotion, which is walking, talking, running, jumping, doing the locomotion, and propulsion. Propulsion is a long rolling contraction, like this little diagram here. And we have this type of movement that is performed mostly by smooth muscle or visceral muscle, in which there's this long rolling contraction, and it is also known as peristalsis, and this is going to be like your intestines. It has this long rolling contraction to move the stuff down the intestines, and the ureter, the uterus, so esophagus. So there's locomotion, like your skeletal muscle when you're running and jumping, and propulsion. A second function of the muscular system is to help maintain your posture. And most of maintaining your posture is involuntary. In other words, you're not consciously aware, thinking about maintaining the correct muscle tone in your arms and in your legs. And so maintaining a posture involves proprioception. And I want you to know what is proprioception, because we use this term over and over and over. And proprioception is the sensory information that comes from the muscles, tendons, ligaments, that tells the brain the position of the muscle, the strength of the contraction of the muscle, and the muscle tone. What level of muscle tone. So this is sensory information that you are not consciously aware of, but that is sent to your brain to help maintain the position, correct position and muscle tone in order to maintain your posture. So again, you're not consciously aware of proprioception. And the muscular system's involvement in maintaining your posture. The third function of the muscular system is it plays a role in thermoregulation. What was the other word, another name for thermoregulation? Starts with an H. Homeothermia. So maintaining constant body temperature. So one thing the muscular system does when you're cold, the muscular system will cause or bring about the shivering, the teeth chattering, and you're shaking. And those reactions involved in creating the shivering and creating that movement produces heat as a byproduct, which helps warm the body. So shivering will help raise your body temperature. So the muscular system is responsible for the shivering. Also, it's the muscle, the rectus abdominis muscle, that causes the hair to stand up when you're cold, which would keep you warm if you were furry animal. And then it's the muscular system, that smooth muscle that is involved in the vasoconstriction and the vasodilation of the blood vessels. Which one will occur when you're cold? Which one, the vasoconstriction or vasodilation? So you should have said vasoconstriction, because when you're cold, you want to keep the blood vessels, you want to have them a little bit deeper down in the dermis to keep the heat from the blood that's flowing through the blood vessels, keep that heat down deeper inside the body to keep you warm, so that heat is not lost through the surface of the skin. So it's vasoconstriction when you're cold. So all of that is performed by the muscular system. So those are the three functions of the muscular system. Now let's talk about the muscles. There's, I think it's 18 muscles that I want you to know. Now when we cover the muscular system later in the semester, you're going to learn like 83 muscles. But for the first test, we're just going to need to know the name of like 18 muscles. So this muscle around the eye is called the Orbicularis Oculi. It's like an orbit. Orbicularis Oculi. And there is another round muscle here around your mouth, the Orbicularis oris. So you have Orbicularis Oculi, Orbicularis oris. Now a thing about these two muscles is they are both considered sphincters. A sphincter is a muscle that completely closes off an opening. So Orbicularis Oculi completely closes the eye, while Orbicularis oris can completely close your mouth. Okay, let's see if you remember them. What was the name of the muscle around your eye? And what is the name of this muscle right here around your mouth? Okay, now we also, in the upper appendage, there's 4 muscles. So the deltoid right here and here. Biceps brachii. So biceps brachii, this is the back of the arm, but this is the front of the arm. A lot of times you just refer to it as a biceps, but not in anatomy and physiology. It's the biceps brachii, because there is another muscle that is the biceps femoris. So you have to say biceps brachii. Okay, right here. Now, in the back of the arm, that's going to be the triceps brachii. This muscle in the back of the arm. And then one more muscle, this one right here, it goes from the arm and then it kind of curves around to the radius. Brachioradialis, this muscle right here, brachioradialis, from the arm to the radius. And so it's this muscle right here. This muscle is your I can't get this one, that big muscle right there. Brachioradialis. What's this big, oh my God, it looks massive. What's this big muscle right here? That one's the biceps brachii. And what about this massive muscle back here, this huge, nicely defined muscle in the back of the arm? That's going to be the triceps brachii. And then what about this muscle right here? It's like this. So the deltoid is a very common location to receive a vaccination or an injection that the volume is milliliter or less. And so if it's less than that, then you receive the intramuscular injection, which means that the medication or the vaccination is designed to be absorbed by the muscle. So that's going to be intramuscular. So you want to put it into this big muscle right here, which is the deltoid. can't seem to make that one as defined as this giant. It looks big on that webcam. Okay, I have another slide of these. So this one here, the deltoid, was named because it's shaped like the delta, which is the capital delta in the Greek alphabet is it the, I think it's the Greek the Greek alphabet is a triangle. And so we flip this triangle upside down and that muscle looks like a triangle, which is why it was named the deltoid. And then this one in the front is the biceps brachii, and the back triceps brachii, this muscle here from the arm to the radius, brachioradialis. And this is another picture of the model brachioradialis right here. Okay, so this is a different model. This one here, I call him Tommy. But this one I call him Tommy Jr. because if you were in the lab, you would see that he's smaller than Tommy. Okay, let's name these muscles. Name the muscle X. Give the name of the muscle Y. The muscle A. And give the name of the muscle Z. Okay, just two muscles in the back. This big muscle here, it is at the back of the neck, the shoulder, and your back. So it's attached here to the vertebra. It goes over here to the scapula and comes up the neck. The trapezius. The trapezius was named because it is shaped like trapezoid. And then the latissimus dorsi is this very wide, large muscle here, largest muscle in your back, the latissimus dorsi, all this muscle here. In the gym, they refer to it as the lats, your traps, your lats. They don't say latissimus dorsi. I would prefer to say latissimus dorsi. It sounds way cooler. All right, let's quickly name the muscle X. Give the name of the muscle K. Now the diaphragm, we mentioned already, you must know the name of the diaphragm, where it's located, what it looks like. All of this muscle here is a dome-shaped muscle, okay? Remember that it separates your thoracic cavity from the abdominopelvic cavity. So this muscle here, it's all the way horizontal, front, back, you know, it's transverse, anterior, posterior, all this muscle, it's shaped like a dome. And when it is in the dome shape, okay, it is relaxed. And then it will invert. So it's shaped like a dome, and then it'll invert and shape like a bowl whenever you inhale. So the diaphragm inverts when it contracts, and it goes from dome to bowl when it contracts, and that is going to bring about an inhalation, inspiration. You're going to inhale, but then it's going to go back to its relaxed position, the dome shape, whenever you're going to exhale. And so when you're breathing with your diaphragm, it's referred to as diaphragmatic breathing. And all of this muscle here is the diaphragm. So also this one. So I took Tommy out. I took the diaphragm out of Tommy, and I have just the picture of the diaphragm. This is the front, and this is the back. But it goes all the way front to back, this diaphragm. Okay, then in the abdomen, now this area right here is not protected by the skeleton. There's no bones protecting your abdomen. Why is that? Why don't we have, like, the ribs protect your lungs? Why don't we have any, why does that continue here? It is to give you the ability for this abdomen to expand for pregnancy so that you can grow a baby in the uterus. So instead of having skeleton to protect the guts, your viscera, your abdominal organs, one thing that we do have that does act to protect are 4 layers of muscles going in 4 different directions. So this one right here, it's going straight up and down. That is the rectus abdominis. Rectus as in like erect, like going straight up and down. Then there is this muscle that is on the right and on the left. Now over here on the left, they have kind of like removed it so you can see under it. But on both sides, we have this muscle here that's going in this diagonal direction. The external oblique. Oblique means diagonal. And then beneath the external oblique, we have muscle going in the opposite diagonal. So it creates like an X. So underneath the external oblique, there's a muscle going the opposite diagonal, internal oblique. So here we have internal oblique. And then beneath, all the way on the inside, the most internal layer is the transversus abdominis. Transverse meaning horizontal. The transversus abdominis. So you have 4 layers of abdominal muscles going in 4 different directions. And that's really, really strong. Now let's see if you can name them by looking at Tommy Jr.'s chest plate. Next we have in the leg, okay, in the thigh. So there's in the front of your thigh, there's a group of 4 muscles. There's 1, 2, 3, and then under here a 4th muscle. So the collection of the 4 muscles together is referred to as the quadriceps. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then under here a number 4. So those together are the quadriceps. Now I want you to know the name of this muscle, the one right here on top. That is the rectus femoris. The muscle fibers are kind of like going straight up, like erect. So this is how it gets its name, rectus femoris, because it's like going in that direction, like erect, straight up and down, and it's on the femur, rectus femoris. So this is a different leg model. I call him the German leg. And you have here the rectus femoris. So if we're counting 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is this muscle on the inside. What do you call the group of 4 muscles all together? The quadriceps. Now in the back of the thigh, there is a group of 3 muscles. 1, 2, 3. So this one is sitting on top of this one. These 2 are kind of like together. So here's another view. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Those 3 in the back of your thigh are known as the hamstrings. In this picture, you see the quadriceps. You do not see, this is the front of the thigh. This is the back of the thigh. So these 2 show you the hamstrings. Now, I want you to know the name of one of the hamstrings, which is this one. This one right here, that's the most lateral. So it's also this one. This one is the biceps femoris. So that's one of the hamstring muscles, because there's three. 1, 2, 3. So you're talking about the hamstrings, you're talking about these three muscles. And one of the hamstrings, the biceps femoris. What was the name of the muscle X? It's going straight up and down. And give the name of the muscle Y. What is the name of the group of three muscles in the back? Okay, in the butt, in your gluteal region, we have three muscles, three layers of muscles. The gluteus maximus, which is the largest muscle. Under that, the gluteus medius. So gluteus maximus. Beneath that, if you remove it, you have the gluteus medius. And then if you remove this muscle, medius, then there's a gluteus minimus. So you have three layers of muscles. Large, medium, and small, minimus. And this is another area where you will give a intramuscular injection. So back here it's called dorsogluteal injection. So in the butt, dorsogluteal. And you want, it's intramuscular, so you want the medicine to be absorbed by the layers and layers of muscle. And this location, you can give a large volume injection. So you could give 3 milliliters all the way up to maybe 5 milliliters of medication. But whenever you do perform this dorsogluteal intramuscular injection, you do not want to hit this nerve right here, the sciatic nerve. You do not want to hit that nerve. So you need to come up here to the top part. You put your middle finger on this iliac crest and the thumb over here, there's a bump. The thumb goes over here on that greater trochanter. And it's covering where you do not want to give the injection. So you put the middle finger on that iliac crest, that bone up there at the top, this bone. Let me put the right hand. And then you put your thumb over here on the greater trochanter. And now your hand is covering where you do not want to give the injection. So this area that is exposed, that's where it's safe to give the dorsogluteal injection. Okay, give me the name of the muscle X, give me the name of the muscle Y, and give me the name of the muscle Z. And we just have 2 more muscles, okay? So down here in the leg, I want you to know the name of this muscle right here. So in front of the tibia, the muscle just anterior to the tibia is the tibialis anterior. So this is the tibia. So right in front of it, the tibialis anterior. And then in the big, beautiful calf muscle back here is the gastrocnemius. Gastrocnemius. This big, kind of like a double belly, beautiful calf muscle. So what was the name of the muscle Z? And what was the name of the muscle X? So these next 4 slides, what I want you to do is I want you to kind of just pause the video and be able to answer them. Be able to answer the names of these muscles without looking at your paper. Okay, so you need to be able to do it without looking. So you just keep reviewing these last, I think it's just 4 slides. So pause, answer the names of those, name those muscles. Again, pause the video and give me the name of those muscles name them until you do not have to look at the paper, okay? Like, name them without looking. Again, pause the video, give the name of those two muscles in the back. Give the name of that muscle. What's that muscle? Pause the video and name those 4 muscles. The abdominal muscles. These are, okay, now with this one you're going to pause the video, but with this one, the X, you're not just going to name that muscle, but also name the group of 4. With Y, give me the name of the group of 3, and give me the name of the muscle Y. Give me the name of the muscle A and Z. Pause and name X, Y, Z. So now what you can do is you can just kind of rewind and go back over those 4 or 5 slides just to review to the point that you don't have to look at until you know them. Okay?